get through this series. But Kidd tends to deflate that opinion, saying it would be unfair to my teammates if I judge my free agent status by our success in the playoffs. Very team-oriented guy, but he holds all the cards, and this franchise is depending on him so much for the future. I mean, that's an understatement when you look at the importance of Jason Kidd to the Nets. Whereas Payton, a free agent also, no one's even discussing that. If he will stay or will not stay. I think the Bucks situation is different in that apparently they're trying to move the franchise, and he carries a very big contract potentially as a free agent.
5-point game, cutting underneath Kukoc, started by the bigger Rodgers. Quickly with the left hand.
Well, you don't see him do it much because he's such a good outside shooter, but the man is 6'11". He's got tons of playoff experience. He comes from that history with the Bulls, and he can be very tough inside as well.
16-6 run by the Bucks. Jefferson cut off. Johnson under 10 of the shot clock. Aaron Williams to the cutting Anthony Johnson.
That's prettier than give-and-go basketball, and the Nets just advertised it.
Shot clock turned off. Gary Payton, of course, linked up again with his former head coach in Seattle, George Karl. They had so much success with one another, of course, until they met Michael Jordan. Gary Payton jumper pops out. Kidd for three.
That should be 3.5, man. What a bomb.
Jason Kidd drills the three at the end of the first quarter, and it's a 2-point game. The Nets close out the first quarter, John, on a 7-2 run.
Well, Jason Kidd measuring the clock perfectly. It's 23-9 to the three-point line. He was way over that. He was in the 30s.
The Bucks led by as many as 7. The lead's been trimmed to 2. Bucks lead after 1. Game 5 between the Nets and the Bucks.
All you gotta do is dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. What do you say we get up out of here and go hit a disco? Or not.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
I'm the first woman to dunk in the WNBA, but I won't be the last.
I am not unique because I am part of a team.
I am a believer in myself.
I am your sister.
I am your daughter.
I am the girl next door. I am on a journey, but I am not alone.
You remember the game.
Go ahead, turn around, shot in the air.
Now, NBA TV gives you a chance to relive the moment. Join me, Mark Morgan, for NBA TV's Hardwood Classics. See the greatest scoring performances and shots that rock the world. NBA TV's Hardwood Classics will replay 25 of the top games of all time. Experience history all over again. NBA TV's Hardwood Classics, Thursday at 4 p.m. only on NBA TV.
Reading can take you places you've always dreamed of going. And book by book, the NBA and WNBA are helping children get closer to reaching those dreams.
Them both across the water to a big ship.
The NBA family has created more than 60 reading and learning centers, donating hundreds of thousands of books, and have given children a place where they can gain the tools they need to achieve their dreams. Because when you love to read, you can become anything you want. Be part of the success and read to achieve.
I love snakes. You and this basketball fans. I love this game.
At the end of the first quarter, Jason Kidd drilled the three. It was good, however, because zeros were shown on the clock. You must review it. An instant replay was used at the end of the first quarter, and it was good.
As Kidd, certainly with his maturity, measured the clock perfectly and lined it up. And I think that shot that Kidd just made is going to really loosen up his teammates before the second quarter of this game. Another look at the range and the long distance delivery of Jason Kidd. This is going to loosen them up. They had a poor shooting first quarter, but they now are enlightened by that last shot, although he takes a blow now as the second quarter opens up.
Payton has to move it ahead in a hurry. Kukoc along with Thomas, Anthony Mason, Michael Redd, and Gary Payton, and a whistle and a foul. And the foul is on Rodney Rogers. By the way, that was the first made three for the Nets. 1 of 5 now after that Kidd prayer. And Kukoc heads to the free throw line. Kukoc, and speaking to George Karl, he said that Tony has been the MVP. He said forget about the numbers, but just the way he has played for this team, because he understands the game so well. And he said certainly down the stretch over the last 15 games as we made that playoff push, part of the reason and the key reason, Tony Kukoc. Remember the Bucks at the end of the regular season, won 8 of the last 10 and 4 in a row.
Game 2 here last week against the Nets in the first win for the Bucks. He was tremendous, double-figure scorer. He did it all: steals, rebounds, block shots. He was all over the place, and his total contribution was invaluable to that victory for the Bucks.
In the month of April, playing 7 games. I know just 7, but think of this. Averaged 19 points and shot 57% from the floor. Red picked up his second. Aaron Williams picks up his first 2.
Anthony Mason didn't believe Aaron Williams could hit that shot. He laid off and figuring Williams was trying to get that ball inside.
Williams shooting 55% in the series. Bucks, their lead stands at 1. Mason backing down on Williams. And Mason gets fouled. And it was prior to the shot.
Mason's lower body strength is awfully difficult to contend with.
In his 13th season out of Tennessee State, Thomas unable to get on track as of yet. He has missed his first 3 shots, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Averaging better than 20 points in this series. Jefferson, jumper, barely grazing the back of the rim. Both teams shooting just horrible here in the early goings of the first half.
Well, defense is better by both teams. More contesting of shots here early in the second quarter.
Remember, these are 2 teams in this series that are averaging better than 100 points. The Nets 102 and the Bucks 101. Payton spin down low on the baseline, and he is fouled. And so Gary heads to the free throw line. Johnson picked up his first.
Gary Payton in transition, receiving the pass, and then isolated in a one-on-one situation, and his assortment of moves and his spinning gained him that foul. He only had 1 soft game. That was the opening game here in New Jersey when the Nets won that game. Actually, they played a game in which they described themselves as perfectly in sync. And Payton did not have a big game. 8 points, 10 assists, didn't shoot the ball well, but since then, he's been a 20-point guy.
All those 8 points earned in the fourth quarter. That ended a string of consecutive double-figure games in the postseason. He has now scored double figures in 59 of the last 60. Pushes Harris back in, and he gets a put back to go.
Well, if there's an unheralded player in a big-time situation, it's Lucas Harris.
Anthony Mason, no. Kukoc, a rare offensive rebound. And Kukoc with the finish.
He's mobile. He's 6'11". He's got to have a body on him or he'll really hurt the Nets, as he's beginning to do.
John, 8 points in just 7 minutes of work. Harris in the lane. And a foul underneath. Kukoc that time cutting off the lane. And a foul. And the foul is on Thomas, and it is his second as Payton will get a breather.
The Nets have to take their advantage in the rebounding department and get more out of it. They're right now leading on the boards. 20 to 12. Take a look at that scoreboard now. The Spurs off to the kind of start they feel they should have in this series with the Suns, who have proven to be more difficult than expected.
Stephon Marbury has been a huge factor in that. Of course, he, during the regular season, led Phoenix to a 3-1 record against San Antonio. Thomas trying to get off. He's yet to knock down a shot from the floor. He is 0 of 5. Both teams have been able to get uncontested shots. They've just been unable to find the iron. Rodgers, the feed.
This is where the Bucks are strong. Inside the paint defense, and now it's starting to show.
Nets by 2.
Nets were getting those opportunities in the first quarter, but missing.
Cassell searching for Kukoc, guarded by Johnson. Kukoc over Johnson, and Jefferson pushes off. No, it was Thomas who pushed off on Jefferson, and that is his third. Very troubling for the Bucks.
Jefferson's done a great job thus far for the Nets on the boards, where he leads both teams.
Timeout on the floor with 8:22 remaining here in the first half. And the New Jersey Nets with a 2-point advantage over the Bucks. 28-26.
Paul Pierce, All-Star forward.
Jerry Rice, 12 Pro Bowls.
Eric Ronaldo, 3 World Cups.
When you're the best, you play the best.
The infusion from Spalding.
What's the infusion? It's a pump inside the ball.
It's always ready to play.
No needles, no pumps.
No problems.
Forget these.
Perfect balance.
No flat ball.
No flat game.
Just twist,
Pump.
block.
You can play. The new line of infusion game balls from Spalding.
Play the best.
Play Spalding.
Now playing on Lego Sports, the NBA All-Star Game. It's the real deal, Bob. Here, got that right, Rick. Wow, great steal. He tries a long shot. Is it? Yes! Oh, net! That puts on a little razzle-dazzle. Oh, just look at him move. Straight to the You like that one, Rick? I know I did, Bob. Want to play?
Set comes with Corton Standard figures. All-Star figures sold separately.
Are you a real fan? Want to go to the playoffs? Who's going to win it all?
Here, baseline drop.
Looking for some playoff gear? Having fun yet? Need a score? Want the inside scoop? Then log on to NBA.com and be a part of the 2003 NBA playoffs. For polls and chats, log on to NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com.
NBA.com, right?
Experience the NBA online. NBA.com.
Welcome back to Continental Airlines Arena. The Nets lead by 2, 28-26. Starting on May 5th, NBA TV will be available in high definition. The daily NBA TV programming block will feature some of the greatest NBA games of all time, including playoffs, finals, and all-star games. Of course, shot in the brilliance of high definition. And do not forget about our very own Johnny Hoops. NBA Legends with Johnny Hoops. Friday night, 6 o'clock Eastern time. I saw the one the other day with Alex English.
Yes, Alex, one of the game's great scorers. And it's so much fun talking to these guys. A lot of people have known about them, heard about them, but it's fun to really get into their careers, which are incredible, every one of them.
I think the Bucks or the Nets would take some of Alex's soft touch right now.
Anybody would, yes. We respect it.
Nets shooting just 31%. The Bucks 30%. Cassell. And a pump by Williams. As Johnson was chasing him around the screen.
What's fun about talking about legends or talking to them is you kind of ask them what made them so special and learn what their own particular skills were. And fun to look back and reflect on that.
Mason trying to work on Williams, who just picked up his second. Uses the offhand.
Brutal move. I mean, he just punished a very big, strong Aaron Williams.
Knotted at 28. certainly a pace in which the Bucks like, because it keeps the Nets out of transition and the turnover. Since getting 21 fast break points in game 1 as Kidd checks back in, the Nets have averaged just 11 in the last 3. And the Bucks have won 2 of those 3 games.
That's a compliment to defensive transition. Getting back on defense, and of course, led by Gary Payton.
Cassell gets a screen set by Anthony Mason. Goes baseline over Kidd. No, and Martin tears down the board. Kidd quickly ahead. Here's Harris. It's a 2. No. Kittle's 1 of 5. Kidd 1 of 5. Martin 2 of 6. It's amazing to look at these numbers considering that everybody has shot well outside of just a couple of players on both teams in this series. Michael Redd missing there, and he's been off for the series. One of the few players in this series that has not shot well. The Bucks basketball, 9 ticks remaining of the shot clock.
If you're Aaron Williams trying to deal with Mason, you know, you're saying to the official, wait, he's punishing me. I'm on defense, and he's pushing me all over the court. Mason is so tough, and he loves to talk. He's doing that. He's trying that out on Aaron Williams.
Redd asking for the basketball. And the foul is going to be charged to Kenyon Martin, and that is his 3rd. And so 2 keys in which we spoke about at the top of the program. Thomas, he has 2 points, 0 of 5 from the floor, 3 personal fouls. Martin just 2 of 6, 5 of the first 9 points. He just picked up his 3rd.
And Kenyon Martin, a player that the Nets cannot expect to automatically do well without, that's for sure. And now his time is being limited even more.
He had 5 of the first 9 points for the Nets. Kukoc, his role continues to grow, averaging 13.8 points in this series and coming off the bench already in double digits.
Martin has been playing 41.5 minutes per game in each of the first 4 games, average, so that's going to go down tonight.
Already the 10th lead change. Here's Jefferson firing over Anthony Mason. Long rebound comes to Jefferson. Cutting underneath. Shot doesn't go. Great defense by Michael Redd, who got a piece of the basketball. And a turnover. And Kukoc looking back saying, I got shoved out of bounds. New Jersey Nets basketball. The Nets and the Bucks locked in a tight one. Game 5 from New Jersey.
Yes, yes, yep. Can't touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable, shake the unshakable. Can't see the unseeable, reach the unreachable, do the impossible. Yes, can't move the unmovable, stop the unstoppable. Yes. We got now, we don't kill, got next.
Thanks for making me a fighter. Makes me that much stronger. Makes me that much wiser.
And Desmond Mason for 3.
A little bit faster.
Into the hole.
Thanks for making me a fighter.
Welcome to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen.
Take a trip with NBA TV's Overtime as we follow the career of your favorite players. See the transformation of youthful innocence into Hall of Fame legend with in-depth historical interviews. See their journey and follow their dream.
In the long run, I'll be able to handle myself man-to-man with almost anyone in the league.
Join me, Bruce Beck, for NBA TV's Overtime, a 30-minute time capsule of the players who changed the game. Watch NBA TV's Overtime Thursdays at 6, only on NBA TV.
Game 1 of a doubleheader on NBA TV in high definition with the Bucks leading by 2, 5:54 remaining in the first half. And coming up after this contest, first round action, Game 5 between the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers from Conseco Fieldhouse as the Pacers look to stay alive, led by Jermaine O'Neal. And the big question in Indiana, where has Reggie Miller been in the fourth quarter? Jason Kidd, a rarity, no assists. Just got his first one.
Oh, an isolation play. And that prohibits the double teaming. The Nets have to spread their offense out a little more, as they just did now.
Kidd along with Williams, Kittles, Jefferson, and Harris. Anthony Mason trying to post up Williams. 7 on the shot clock, barreling down low. Shot
Great job by Aaron Williams. Boy, he competes defensively.
Kidd speeding ahead, trying to back down on Cassell. And a foul on Sam Cassell.
Nets want to get more one-on-one play. Kidd wants it, certainly. You see Nets rushing their offense early here. That began things after the timeout. Richard Jefferson, boy, is he flying high. He's got 8 rebounds already in this game.
And 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. He has been the lone net that has been able to connect from the field. For the Bucks, it's been Tony Kukoc. He has 10 points. Kidd with Peyton on him. And a loose ball foul. And it will be charged to Jefferson. And that's his second.
See a move like that by Kidd, who's tough going to the basket, tough with the ball. And Peyton just won't give him any room, making Kidd be satisfied, or making him settle, I should say, for a very difficult shot.
Both teams in the bonus, and Peyton heads to the free throw line, 74% during the regular season in his 28 games for the Milwaukee Bucks. The average for the Bucks, 19.6 points and 7.4 assists. And the San Antonio Spurs leading the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, running away.
So Gary Payton from the free throw line, just 1 of 4. Kidd, as Jefferson looks to post up the glove. Jefferson taking advantage of the matchup, and he's fouled by Payton.
What a play. What a play engineered by Kidd, who started out with Payton on him. He had a move on Payton, lost to Payton, fell down, forcing a switch. All of a sudden, Payton, you'll see, Payton all of a sudden has to deal with the taller Jefferson by about 3 inches, and the setup is there. A beautiful, perfectly thrown pass and a finish by Richard Jefferson.
He has really evolved from last year to this year, and of course down the stretch as a rookie out of the University of Arizona. Played brilliantly for the Nets in their title run, which ended by a sweep at the hands of the Los Angeles Lakers. Jefferson has 11 points. Turnover. Harris right to the hole. Offensive foul. Cassell gets back and plants his feet. Harris earns his first.
Well, Harris had all that room and he couldn't resist, but when he saw the defense planted, he couldn't change his mind in midair. Kittle's back on the floor.
Nets by 3, and a foul is going to be charged to the Nets. And it is on Jason Collins. The second-year man out of Stanford just picked up his first.
If you're Collins, it's hard to accept. Let's go with a small lineup now.
Michael Redd, he's in for Kukoc. And a smaller lineup for the Bucks with Cassell and Payton, Redd, Mason, and then Anthony Mason at the free throw line. Rolls out. The Bucks 11 of 16 collectively from the free throw line. The Nets 6 of 8. Harris swings it. Kittles back out on the floor. Shot no. Desmond Mason with a goal.
Kittle's now in his 8th minute of play in the game because of 2 early fouls.
recharge to Anthony Mason.
Mason is so strong. He sets picks sometimes and moves may not even realize it, but the guys bounce off him with his width and strength.
Bucks turn it over for the 5th time. They're averaging just 13 turns in this matchup. And one as he takes it right to the hole.
Boy, that's willing a shot up and into the basket. In many ways, this shot had no right to go in. Look how well played he is. There's no room around him. And somehow, with his confidence and strength, he uses the backboard to great advantage. Mason Kidd with that wide open lane. All of a sudden, it flows down, but he had the strength to overcome Mason.
Irvin Johnson replacing Anthony Mason, who just picked up number 2. Irvin Johnson early on had 3 blocks. The Bucks with their largest lead. Or rather, I should say the Nets with their largest lead. New Jersey on an 8-1 run. By 5, 36-31 with 3:17 to go in the first half. Backing down on Kidd. The double comes from Collins. Triple is there with Harris. Cassell, no. Desmond Mason put back.
Tremendous play by the 6'5" Mason with taller people surrounding him.
6 points and 7 rebounds for Desmond Mason. The Bucks, the first time they scored from the floor in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Offensive foul.
Beautifully executed pick and roll play. But the 7-foot Jason Collins clobbered the defense as he rolled to the basket. Give credit to Milwaukee.
That is his second. And so the Bucks held scoreless from the floor for over 4 minutes. And Mason got the rebound and the putback. And right now it is 36-33. Richard Jefferson already with the double-double. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
This spring is a little more time with the family. Good luck. That's why there's the America's Choice National Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless. It lets you share unlimited night and weekend minutes on up to 4 separate lines. And right now you can buy a full-color Motorola T720 phone for just $79.99 after rebate. It's the perfect gift for someone special in your family, like Mom. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
A break in the action in New Jersey gives us a chance to get you updated on what's happening. Game 5 in San Antonio. It's been all Spurs in this game. Off the miss from Manu Ginobili, the tip-in is good from Tim Duncan. Spurs led big after one by 13. The Suns shot just 4 of 22 in the first quarter of play. Second quarter, David Robinson, of course, back from injury, continues to work himself back into things. And the Spurs lead this game by 19. Right now, back to New Jersey.
36-33, Nets on top of the Milwaukee Bucks. Tomorrow night, NBA TV in high definition is proud to present Game 5 of the Orlando Magic Detroit Pistons first round matchup. The Pistons will have to fend off T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, and the surprising Magic, who hold a 3-1 lead. Coverage on NBA TV begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Tracy McGrady, what a factor.
You wonder how a guy who's been so dominant leading the NBA in scoring this year can go up more notches as he has. What a performer in the playoffs he has been. Wow.
Of course, helped out by the additions of Drew Gooden and Gordon Gierczek of the Memphis Grizzlies in a trade for Mike Miller. Gooden has played well in this series. His first, of course. Jefferson with another rebound. 11 rebounds for Jefferson. Both teams just not shooting the basketball well in this series. The Bucks have shot better than 50% on 2 occasions. And Collins Collins gets fouled by Johnson. The shot rims out. He'll head to the free throw line. Johnson just picked up his second.
Collins showed how he could recover from that offensive foul moments ago. He didn't hesitate. Shows a lot of courage in the young Collins now in his second year. He just took the ball right to Irvin Johnson, a guy right with him size-wise, and won that fight.
Of course, his brother, Jaron Collins, plays for the Utah Jazz, and he had to sit out the majority of the season because of a torn ACL, and he's battling to get back next year. And, of course, tomorrow night, the Jazz try to stay alive against the Sacramento Kings as the Spurs continue their work on the Suns. 9 of 11 of the Nets from the free throw line. Payton, Gasol, Johnson, Desmond Mason, and Michael Redd. Redd has been quiet in this series.
That's surprising, too. One of the tremendous young shooters in the NBA.
Out of Ohio State, catch and shoot. No! Jefferson is 12th rebound. Michael Redd entering tonight just 3 of 10 from downtown. Kidd can't find him. Desmond Mason looks ahead and now pulls it back and sends it to Gasol. Under 2 minutes remaining in this low-scoring first half. Left hand. Johnson mistimed it. Sprinting ahead. Reaching and one. Tremendous move by Kidd. And Gary Payton still down at the other end.
This is a horrible sight for the Milwaukee Bucks. Topped off by Jason Kidd's sensational drive to the basket, where once again he willed that ball into the basket. He found a hole in the defense that nobody else could possibly see.
Michael Redd earned his third, and this is what occurred at the other end as he just fell back and collided with a pole.
Boy, it must have hit his back and his lower back, because it didn't look like that dramatic a fall, considering what a guy like that goes through during the season.
And a technical foul is going to be called against the Milwaukee Bucks, and it is on Sam Cassell, a 20-second timeout taken. So Cassell carried on the conversation with Joe Crawford. And the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, certainly some concern there. Gary Payton, the veteran out of Oregon State. Troy Wenzel in his third year as a trainer for the Milwaukee Bucks. Checking out GP, and he says he is fine as he limps his way back toward the other end of the floor. He is tough.
We're talking about one of the most durable players in the NBA. Payton played 80 of the 82 games this year, and he is certainly one of the stronger players when you look at the length of his career and how often he has been able to play full seasons.
Take a look back at in real time. Jarring his lower back. For the Bucks, that's their 10th technical of the series. Kidd back at the free throw line, and the Nets on a 14-3 run right now. And Kidd has 10 points.
12 of his 13 seasons, Payton has played 80 or more games and is only 82.
If he is at the arena, he will play. Faded, connects, stopping the run.
Harris is petitioning Joe Crawford, the official. Hey, he pushed off, he pushed me away. Well, if he did, he certainly was southern.
Never forget talking to his backcourt mate, and a foul is going to be charged against the Nets. And it is on Lucius Harris, an offensive foul. And the Bucks get the basketball back.
That was a frustration play by Harris, because he had that other play on his mind moments ago when he was muscled.
When he's speaking to his former backcourt mate, Percy Hawkins, of course, they had so many great years together in Seattle. Cassell sealed underneath. And he travels. Tremendous defense by Collins and Harris.
Lucius Harris has been so valuable to the Nets this year, off the bench with his scoring, but he too can play defense.
A technical foul is going to be charged to Lucius Harris. And Sam Cassell will head toward the free throw line as Harris continued talking to Joey Crawford.
Well, it's a test for Byron Scott now to read Harris. He's obviously very upset. He took on about the last official in the NBA you would want to make a passing comment to. And Joey Crawford puts up with nothing.
Cassell, 11 of 11 in this series. To wrap up the point about Gary Payton, it was prior to a game in Seattle. Speculation was that GP would not play at about 6 o'clock. He showed up as Jefferson makes a fine move underneath. And Hersey Hawkins turned to me and said, Matt, if Gary Payton is in the building, he will play. Doesn't matter if he's been in bed all day long or in the hospital all day long. If he's here, he'll play. And he did.
That's what history says.
Remaining seconds here of the first half. Get down on Kidd. Spin move. Baseline. Got it. Top shot.
To say the least.
Kidd, can he do it again? At the end of the first half, 44-38, the Nets leading the Milwaukee Bucks in a defensive-minded first half.
Yes, both teams have put the defensive stamp respectively on their opponents, which did not happen in the first 4 games. A tough, hard-fought first half.
Gary Payton limping off toward the locker room. The Milwaukee Bucks led by Payton with 10 points and Tony Kukoc with 10. Jefferson had phenomenal for the Nets, 13 points and 12 rebounds, and Jason Kidd with 10. It's halftime here in New Jersey. The Spurs trying to down the Phoenix Suns. And you see these 2 great point guards.
This is unbelievable. They come into the series in 4 games, each of them with 39 assists. Each exactly the same assists. Look at this now. And in points, Kidd has scored 1 point more now in the 5 games than Payton has. Talk about equality.
This is the second time that the 2-point guards have met in a playoff series. They met up back in 1997 when Seattle defeated Phoenix 3-2 in the first round of matchup. Cassell along with Payton, Desmond Mason, Tim Thomas struggled in the first half, did not make a bucket from the floor. And Irvin Johnson on the floor.
Kittle's excellent defense on Payton.
Martin hasn't been a factor because of foul trouble. After scoring 5 of the first 9 for the Nets, along with Jefferson, already a double-double, Jason Collins and Kittles. Kittles, baseline jumper, can't find the rhythm. Coming off of 4 points in Game 4 in Milwaukee. 1 of 7 is Kittles. Opening minute of the second half. Mason finds Payton. 5 of the shot clock. And it rolls out. Jefferson. Backing down on Mason. The double comes. Kittles puts it on the deck, driving. Stripped by Cassell. Cassell underneath Payton. Slips it to Desmond Mason and a foul. The foul is on Kidd, and that is his second, and Mason heads to the free throw line.
Beautiful play inside by Payton. He couldn't get his shot, but he found a hole in the defense. Now Mason goes to the line.
Mason 76% during the regular season, 65% in this series. And game 4 had 14 points, tied a playoff career high of 8 rebounds before fouling out. Set that playoff mark in game 3 of this series. The Bucks 14 of 19 now from the free throw line. They are +6 and getting to the free throw line in attempts. Martin tries to post up down low. Hangs on the iron. 4-point game. Almost 2 minutes into the third quarter. Cassell working on Kittles. Kittles swipes it away and a foul. And Kerry Kittles leads the league in steals to turnover ratio. And he was able to swipe it away there.
When you see shooting percentages like we're seeing here tonight, you know there's a lot of physical action going on in the game. And that's what we're witnessing now as Thomas stepped over Collins moments ago.
Cassell picked up his second. Doesn't fall. And there's Thomas quickly ahead. Mason blows the layup. Milwaukee shooting now 29%, John. Trailing by just 4 because the Nets have missed shots just like that.
I think a lot of it is because of the intensity defensively. No one wants their shot blocked, and there's that element of rushing the shot a little bit on most attempts by both teams. That's why the percentages are down so low.
Remember, both teams averaging better than 100 points in this series, and the Milwaukee Bucks 5th best in scoring during the regular season as Peyton connects, and he has a dozen.
Peyton has so many moves, and he does not get rattled when 2 defenders come at him as they just did.
Being out-rebounded by 7, but the Bucks are used to that. 28th in the league in rebounding during the regular season. 2-point game. Here's Martin operating. Pops out. Martin just 2 of 9, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Averaging a double-double entering game 5.
Martin wants to put the ball on the floor every time.
Cassell isolating. Sam Cassell able to get by Kittles, and it's tied at 44.
Kittles very unhappy, felt he was held by Cassell, couldn't stay with him.
The Nets take a timeout because the Milwaukee Bucks are on a 6-0 run to start the third quarter.
In 1211, the Carpathian brothers took a vow of silence. Luckily, it only pertains to offline. After all, when you can share personal pics, favorite cuts, and streaming video, who needs talking?
You've got mail.
The new AOL for broadband. Welcome to the worldwide...
Meet Timmy. Unlike most boys, Timmy was born with a computer for a head, making him very bad on the balance beam, at tetherball, and various playground games. But Timmy is very good at getting live and exclusive NBA audio and video highlights, only on NBA Inside Ticket with Real One, which makes Timmy very popular. Log on to realone.com for a free 14-day trial.
Slam dunk Walker. Sean. What a play by Iverson. What a play for Thomas. What a play. What an absolutely
I love snakes. You and this basketball bounce. I love this game.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
The Bucks on a 6-0 run to start the half, and if you stretch it out to the end of the first half, it's an 11-2 run. And we are knotted at 44. Starting May 5th, NBA TV will be available in high definition every day of the week. The daily NBA TV programming block will feature some of the greatest NBA games of all time, including playoffs, finals, and all-star games, shot in the brilliance of high definition. Classic NBA games in high definition starting May 5th. The Nets 0 of 5 to start the third quarter. Kidd looking to set up Martin down low. Martin underneath, and a foul is going to be charged to the Bucks. It is on Johnson. And that's his third.
You know, Matt, there's nothing subtle about Martin's game tonight. He is frustrated. He came out early with 2 fouls. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to power his way inside. Fortunately, there was no offensive call on that play. But he's a very emotional player. And with him having a low output first half with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and only 10 minutes of play, who else is going to fill that void now? Kittles is expected to be that guy. He also had 2 fouls early, only played 12 minutes in the first half. So this team has got to start getting much greater output if they're going to win this game. Martin's consistency at the line, though, good as he makes a couple.
John, as you well know, that has been the one player that the Bucks have not been able to contend with, averaging better than 20 points and 10 rebounds. First made field goal of the night for Tim Thomas. He is now 1 of 6 from the floor. Martin at 30 in game 4 in the loss at the Bradley Center. Shipped away in a loose ball foul. The foul is going to be charged to Irvin Johnson, and the former University of New Orleans product disapproves of the call.
Yeah, the Bucks are getting a big lift with his presence tonight. They have not had big man defensive presence in these prior games against New Jersey. Johnson is giving it tonight.
3 blocks all in the first quarter. 5 of the shot clock. Kidd pulls up, connects. A dozen for Kidd. Once again, and now untied, 48-46.
Pick and roll has got Thomas in a mismatch favoring him.
Thomas rolls out. Kidd slicing down the lane, cut off by Johnson. Unstoppable going to the hole and a foul.
That's remarkable. Kidd and Payton, you know, are both made of the same stuff. They can get held down in the initial part of the offense, but they can also continue on and be a threat, even though they're stopped at the earlier part. And they have that thirst to get to the basket if they don't have a teammate to deliver the ball to, and the ability to get to it and at least draw a foul, as Kidd just did.
Johnson with 5 personal fouls. 3 of those earned since the start of the second half. There is T.J. Kidd, the son of Jason Kidd, and he actually suffered a fractured collarbone in Game 2 when his father collided with him. And his wife, of course, Jumana, and agent David Falk.
Unbelievable. Of all the places he could fall.
Right into T.J., who was always present here, watching his father at Continental Airlines Radio. He's got a good jump for a 4-year-old. 3-point advantage for the Nets. 5 of the shot clock. Thomas and a foul on Kidd. His third.
Those are Kidd's instincts. Not a good foul by Kidd, but he can't help a player sometimes. His instincts ought to go for a basketball. But against a guy 6'10" in that mismatch a moment ago, he couldn't resist.
6:45 remaining in the third quarter. The tone has definitely been set, and right now it is in steam. Breaking out here in the Eastern Conference. Thomas, no! And Martin tears down the board. Kidd, crossover in the lane. No! A chance to run. Cassell backing down on Kittle. Stops, pops, and pops out. Payton, a rare second chance opportunity for the Bucks.
Interesting how Cassell didn't even look for Payton, who he had on his left, but Payton ended up getting the rebound.
Thomas exchanging some words. And a couple of nudges and pushes, and Bill Spooner and James Capers jump in. A technical foul is going to be charged against both. So a double technical on Thomas and Jefferson.
Macho behavior is costly. Next technical by either player, and they're out.
Jefferson earned his third foul. Desmond Mason looking underneath. Thomas. And last touch by Collins, and 6 on the shot clock. Milwaukee ball.
Thomas looking like he wants to have a lot more impact than he did in the first half.
Desmond Mason connects. Into double digits, he has 10.
When that defense softens up, when there isn't a hand in the face of the shooter, the shooting gets better.
Mason a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. Jefferson backing down. Trevor.
Guarded well by Desmond Mason. To the point where that's a play you rarely see a player make, where he does that up and down play that is most familiarly seen in schoolyards.
That is true. Thomas out, Kukoc back in. Nets continue to struggle, just 1 of 7 here in the third quarter, while the Milwaukee Bucks are downright hot. They're 4 for the last 12, at least in this game. They'd be considered hot 4 as well. Here's Kittles, baseline. No, 1 for their last 8. Scrapping for the basketball. And a timeout taken by the Nets as Jefferson falls to the deck. He quickly calls timeout. He has 15 rebounds, does Richard Jefferson, and that ties a season and career high in rebounds. He had 15 against Portland this season back on December 11th. And a 20-second timeout taken, so a new playoff career best for Richard Jefferson. It was his play down the stretch last year that certainly allowed the Nets to trade Keith Van Horn, and of course immediately following Game 1 of the doubleheader on NBA TV in high definition, it is of course Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. The Celtics lead that series 3 games to 1 over the Indiana Pacers, a team with a bundle of talent and a 2-time All-Star in Jermaine O'Neal, but Paul Pierce has just been too much to handle.
He has been, but they too, like winning teams, are getting help from other players. And they have gotten it in this series to really shock the Pacers so far.
And one of those players, Walter McCarty, who has started the last 2 games for the Boston Celtics, who's an Evansville, Indiana native. Martin backing down. He's thinking to himself, finally, as he works his way down low to the bucket.
I'll be wondering why no one hit him either. That was the first time he moved freely to the basket.
Just 3 of 10. He has 9 points and 7 rebounds. And an offensive foul called against the Milwaukee Bucks. And Mason earns his third. Desmond Mason.
Taken off in the shooting department.
Turnover. Bucks basketball. Nets have turned it over 11 times, but on the previous 10 turnovers, Milwaukee with just 7 points. Hayden backing down. Mason fires. No. Kidd. In transition, here's Kittles exploding to the hole.
Boy, that's just the word to describe Kittles. You can see his value and what it means to the Nets when he gets the ball, when he can play freely, and when they can run.
7th year in a Nets uniform, the longest tenure on this team. Cassell in the lane.
Couldn't have been played tougher either by Kittles. What a shot.
Cassell with 11 points on 5 of 13 shooting. And the style in which the Milwaukee Bucks have played not only tonight but also in the last 3 games of this series, it's really forced the Nets into a half-court offense, something that they would rather avoid. And a turnover
the heat's on him. He knows he has to come through, and boy, he's looking to shoot from wherever he is on the court.
13 points coming off of the bench, John.
That's really getting into their motion offense, that famous Princeton offense. Offensive foul by Jefferson now, creaming Mason as he keeps moving. But the offense is moving much better than it did in the first half for the Nets now.
And another turnover. And Jefferson with his 4th foul. He remains on the floor. Desmond Mason, Gary Payton, Anthony Mason, Kukoc, and Michael Grant, and now recognizing that Jefferson has 4. Lucius Harris, who picked up a technical foul earlier, checks in for New Jersey.
Let's hope now that Martin can continue his uplifting play with Jefferson going out.
Tied at 53. Bucks want to reclaim the lead. Kukoc driving, stripped of the basketball, and a foul is committed.
He's left-handed, but he went right. He got around Martin, no problem.
And that is his 4th. And Kenyon Martin not happy with the call because, as you see there, frustrated by picking up his 4th, and a timeout on the floor. The Milwaukee Bucks outscoring the New Jersey Nets here in the 3rd quarter.
Bottom line, we've got to boost margins.
Do more with less.
Slash the ad budget.
Scale back in the Pacific Rim.
Actually, IT has a plan.
We're going with Dell.
Dell's is focused on you as they are on driving down costs. PowerEdge servers, Intel Xeon processors. It's the flexibility you need.
And that cuts costs, not productivity.
Smart move, Dave. Now we won't even have to cut the free coffee.
Find out how you can cut costs across your enterprise. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Tradition. A look on the other guy's face. To be my own Manning.
Being a woman.
Because last year, I couldn't.
Millions of little girls.
Every athlete is fueled by something.
Update time, Spiro Ditas back from our NBA TV studios. A break of the action in New Jersey. Back to San Antonio. Suns trailed at the break 50-27, but Phoenix now making their move in the 3rd quarter. Stephon Marbury a chance at 3 points. And then Amari Stoudemire from Bo Outlaw. And suddenly, Suns are to within 14 points at the SBC Center Game 5. That series deadlocked at 2 games apiece. Right now, back to New Jersey. The Nets and Bucks, Matt Devlin and John Andres.
Tied here once again in Game 5 at 53. With the series tied at 2, the Bucks and the Nets. Tomorrow night, NBA TV in high definition is proud to present Game 5 of the Orlando-Detroit first round of matchup. The Pistons will have to fend off Tracy McGrady and the surprising Orlando Magic, who hold a 3-1 lead. The coverage on NBA TV begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Kukoc steps to the line. Kenyon Martin replaced by Rodney Rogers because Martin earned his 4th. It has been a difficult night for Kenyon. 3 of 10 from the floor, 9 points and 7 rebounds. And Johnny Hoops, Phoenix making a run in San Antonio in the 3rd quarter, trailing by 10.
Look what's going on. Well, they were down by 20 and more, and they're rising as they have in the prior games in this series.
Speaking of a run, the Bucks on a 7-0 run. Air ball by Kidd. Lead pass stolen away by Kittles. Rogers, high-low feed, and Payton ties up Collins. And a foul on Gary Payton, his 2nd.
Jason Collins is a very active 7-footer. Helps him in mismatches, as we saw in a little pick and roll, and all of a sudden Cassell trying to contain him. Kittle saw him, got him the ball right away. Other times he tries to wheel and move around a lot and knocks people down. He's got to get that right balance, but what a terrific opportunity he's had this year with the unfortunate Mutombo injury, the hand injury. It's given Collins all kinds of time to develop. Bad part of it, of course, Mutombo is of no use now to the Nets because he just hasn't had enough action this year. And certainly right now, Byron Scott very reluctant to use him, although he's played limited minutes in the first 3 games.
Well, it's coming up. Game 2 of our doubleheader on NBA TV in high definition. The Celtics and the Pacers from Conseco Fieldhouse. Indiana trying to stay alive. Michael Redd, step back 3. Can't get it with 1 tick remaining in the shot clock. And Michael Redd, his struggles continue. Rogers spots up. No. The Nets have made just 1 3, John, and it was the Kid 3 to end the first quarter. Harris, it's a 2.
Look, that was a terrific play by Rodney Rogers as he was driving to the basket. You know he was on his way to an offensive foul, and he read it and gave the ball up.
Looking for the curling. Desmond Mason slicing through the lane. Anthony Mason finds GP. Unable to connect.
Shot was contested well.
Kidd, it's a 2. No. Kittles tracks it down.
And his shot was contested well. Same guy. Back and forth at each other. Payton and Kidd.
The defense has been intense throughout tonight.
That's really described this game, Matt.
Kidd with Kukoc on him. Kittles over Red. And as the shot comes up short, a foul is going to be charged to Michael Redd. And George Karl just picked up a technical foul, and of course he has been very boisterous in his opinion of the officiating throughout this series.
Well, that foul was called right in front of George. And he made his own judgment on the play, and it cost him. But in a game like this, if you're a coach, you don't want to technical foul. And these games get down to truly the final point.
He has not been pleased with the calls in this series. As Kidd connects. And of course he must be careful now. 1 more and he'll be automatically gone. As Kittles is being attended to by Tim Walsh. Appears to have a scrape. And he is fine.
George Karl's time with the Bucks now. He has moved past Del Harris for 3rd on the Bucks all-time win list.
He has produced a 500 or better record 12 straight years. And in his 5th season in Milwaukee, as Kittles connects from the free throw line. Overall playoff record of 59 and 65, and with the Bucks 14 and 16. And this is an organization that last won the NBA championship in just their 3rd year in existence back in 1971, led by Larry Costello. Former Niagara Great.
Finish off George's career. We'll do it quickly. He's 13th on the all-time win list in the NBA. 700 wins.
Rogers just picked up his 2nd. The Nets responding on a 7-0 run.
Michael Redd situation shooting 2.
So Redd, with both teams in the bonus, heads to the free throw line. He is 3 of 3 in this series from the line. His first trip tonight, and he's now 4 of 4 in his first point. This is a player that, coming off of the bench, averaged better than 15 points a game, just 23 years of age. And against New Jersey in the regular season, produced better than 16 points a game and shot 59% from the floor. And he admitted, he goes, I'm pressing in my first playoff experience. Harris, too strong. Kukoc eliminates an opportunity for the Nets. 130 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter with the Nets on top by 3. Payton in a crowd. Kukoc driving, cut off. GP for 3. And Collins and Anthony Mason locked up. And a foul is going to be charged to Anthony Mason, his 3rd.
Well, Mason didn't have the height to deal with Collins, but he had the arm strength. And that cost him a foul. His seemed very unhappy about his playing time with the Bucks. You can see Mason using his arm to hook the taller Collins.
And so Collins now walks to the other end. Collins 4-4 from the free throw line. The Spurs, the lead had been cut to 10, now back to 15. In this series, the New Jersey Nets have attempted 26 more free throws than the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks shooting 71% from the free throw line in the series. During the regular season, they are 7th best at 77%. Kittles for 3. Pressing ahead.
Just unbelievable. How could he get that shot up? He was guarded so well.
Underneath, Michael Redd, foul! Doesn't get the roll with 0.8 of a second remaining in the third. The Bucks sprinting out here at the end of the third quarter. The Nets have turned it over 6 times in the quarter.
Boy, Peyton may be in his 13th season, but when coaches and general managers and owners start talking about free agents, when you see him play with the intensity he's playing with now, he's going to be very tempting. Well, you know he's going to want a big contract. There's many years of boy. If there's anybody much higher rated than him, maybe Jason Kidd, but we'll see him.
Jason Kidd turned 30 years of age this season. And of course, Gary Payton, 34 years of age. And the Milwaukee Bucks coming back. And at the end of 3, knotted at 61. The presence of defense has been there throughout the contest. And the man known as the Glove was able to go on a run to tie it up late in the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter of Game 5.
Paul Pierce, All-Star forward.
Jerry Rice, 12 Pro Bowls.
Eric Winalda, 3 World Cups.
When you're the best, you play the best.
The infusion from Spalding.
What's the infusion? It's a pump inside the ball.
It's always ready to play.
No needles, no pumps.
No problems.
Forget these.
Perfect balance.
No flat ball.
No flat game.
Just twist, pump, lock.
You can play. The new line of infusion game balls from Spalding.
Play the best.
Play Spalding.
Yes, yes, yep. Can't touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable, shake the unshakable. And see the unseeable, reach the unreachable, do the impossible. Yes, can't move the unmovable, stop the unstoppable. Yes. We got now, we don't kill, got next.
NBA Hoop It Up, the premier 3-on-3 basketball experience is coming to your town. Don't miss your one shot to join the competition. Whatever your age or ability, whether you're male or female, a serious competitor, or playing for fun, this weekend tournament is for you. So sign your team up now and bring your friends and family out to enjoy this total basketball experience. Log on to NBA.com to find out when NBA Hoop It Up is traveling to your area. Get in on the 3-on-3 action.
NBA TV presents the NBA playoffs in high definition. Experience NBA basketball like never before. It's so real you can touch it. Now, NBA TV comes to you in state-of-the-art high definition. You'll have to see it to believe it. Watch the world's greatest athletes, larger than life. The NBA playoffs in high definition, only on NBA TV. It's fantastic.
The Bucks and the Nets, Game 5, begin the fourth quarter, tied at 61. NBA TV on May 5th will be available in high definition every day of the week. The daily NBA TV programming block will feature some of the greatest NBA games of all time, including playoffs, finals, and all-star games, shot in the brilliance of high definition beginning May 5th.
Where is the three-point shooting in this game? New Jersey, 1 of 8 here tonight. And the Milwaukee Bucks, 3 of 13. They were 11 of 24 in the last game. The French franchise record, 24 shots by Milwaukee, but the shooting is way off in this defensively intense game.
The Bucks in the series shooting 40% from downtown. And Harris drills the shot. It is a 2. He is 3 of 8. And for the 13th time, the lead changes. You see the numbers through 3. Anthony Mason along with Cassell. Michael Redd on the floor. Cassell, jumper long as Aaron Williams tracks it down.
Cassell 5 of 14. Boy, he rushes shots.
Kittles. Guarded by Anthony Mason. Trying to take him. Can't. In the corner. Coach closed in a hurry on Harris. Johnson, no. Batted out of bounds. Last touch by Rogers, and it's Milwaukee basketball.
Bad shot by Johnson. You see a player miss like that so wide to the right. You know he's off. Way off.
1 of 9 are the Nets now from three-point range. Since game 1, which was easily handled by the New Jersey Nets, 109-96, and really the score doesn't indicate how much the Nets handled the Milwaukee Bucks as Kukoc looks to send it in.
They want to go low to Thomas. He's got a mismatch on him.
Is coming up following us, game 5, Indiana and Boston. Cassell connects for 3. But over the last 3 games, how tight has this series been? Game 2 decided by 3 points. Game 3 decided by 2 points. Game 4 decided by 5 points. Rogers, too strong. Weak side corralled by Anthony Mason. Saved right to Rogers.
So many shots we've seen tonight.
That time, Kittles finally connects. 2-point advantage for New Jersey. Into the 4th quarter. Michael Redd crossover and a foul on the floor. And it will be charged to Kerry Kittles. And that is his 3rd. The team's 2nd.
Boy, he had 2 early. It's been a long time between 2 and 3 for Kittles, fortunately for the Nets.
Jason Kidd checking back in for Byron Scott. Redd on the up fake. Thomas, a frustrating game for him. Tenacious as he backs down and goes right to the hole. The Patterson Catholic product in Patterson, New Jersey.
Good matchup. Harris just too small to handle Thomas.
Milwaukee going with a smaller lineup. And a foul on Michael Redd. And that is his 5th. And Gary Payton quickly jumps up, and he will replace Michael Redd.
Harris, top of the screen, talking to the official. He at 6'5", guarding Thomas. It's a killer matchup on the defensive end for him.
Kidd, double quickly. Martin gives it to Kittles. Connects. Kerry Kittles, so quiet in the first half, has hit 2 big threes here in the opening minutes of the 4th quarter. Martin on him. Fading.
Oh, man, what a shot. How do you defend that? Well, you keep the ball out of his hands. The shooting is coming on strong now for both teams.
Goes with 17 points. Loose ball on the floor and a foul. Foul on Anthony Mason. And a time out of the floor with 8:47 remaining here in the 4th quarter in Game 5 of this first-round Eastern Conference matchup between the New Jersey Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets lead by 1, 69-68, 8:47 to play.
Where we were planning our vacation online, that's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different.
Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
Searching for a great airfare online doesn't have to be a pain. Just go to southwest.com for our $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by May 1st.
You are now free to move about the country.
Word has it someone here's trying to make a collect call. Calm down, people. All you gotta do is dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. What do you say we get up out here and go hit a disco? Or not.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Are you looking for the inside scoop on the NBA? Now NBA TV Insiders gives you tomorrow's headlines today. Join me, Spiro Ditas, as we talk hoops with top NBA analysts and experts from around the country.
I think Mashburn is a guy who thinks that he can lead just by playing on the floor, Spiro.
All the news of the day from the people who make it happen. NBA TV Insiders is your source for all things NBA. Watch NBA TV Insiders weekdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We have had a hotly contested, defensive-minded Game 5 between the Bucks and the Nets. And the Nets lead by 169-68. Game 1, of course, of a doubleheader right here on NBA TV in high definition and immediately following our game. It'll be Game 5 between the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. Third-seeded Pacers trying to hang with the 6th seed of the East, the Boston Celtics, as they trail in that series 3-1. San Antonio now by 13 over Phoenix as they continue to try to battle back.
As Phoenix is not going away.
Aaron Williams at the free throw line. Both of these teams have really struggled from the floor. The Nets 33%, while the Bucks have shot 36%. The lowest field goal percentage for both teams in a game in NBA playoff history was Syracuse in Fort Wayne, and they played it in Indianapolis back on April 7th of 1955. That was a while ago, John.
Yes, it was. Our great defense forced the turnover in favor of the Nets.
And of course, Syracuse in that game, the Syracuse Gnats, they shot 27%. Fort Wayne shot 28%.
Nets contained Sam Cassell. Forced him to throw that ball away a moment ago.
Bucks with a chance to recapture the lead. Kukoc, a double came from Aaron Williams. King got a piece of it. Last touch by Milwaukee. With Williams coming, doubling, Kukoc had to alter his movement in his mind.
Kenny Martin also with a terrific all-out effort to keep that ball away from the Bucks.
The lowest scoring game in this series, Game 2, right here from Continental Airlines Arena. Williams, nobody boxed him out, and Gary Payton, look at disgust on his face as he followed.
Well, you had stationary defenders, and nobody accounted for Williams, who just owned the lane and the finish.
Nets pounding the Bucks on the boards, 35-33. Bucks out rebounded the Nets in Game 4. Slim margin of 2. Payton. Here's Kukoc for three. Mason, second chance, kick out. Cassell, it's a 2. No. Third opportunity underneath, and one for Tim Thomas, who finishes in a crown.
Thank you, Tony Kukoc. If you're George Karl, kept that ball alive. Cassell on the long shot miss. Kukoc with the tip inside to Thomas. Conversion now at the line, and the possibility of a 2-point, or I should say of an even game now once again as the Bucks continue to stay in it.
Kidd with the foul, his fourth. Thomas has 9 points. 3 of 11, but 3 of 3 from the free throw line. And 19 of his 25 in game 1 here, Continental Airlines Arena in the fourth quarter. A different tone set early on in this game. Baseline, Jefferson, no, tapped up and out. Off of the nets, and it's Milwaukee basketball.
You know what we're not seeing very much of, Matt, in this game? Guys can't break down guys off the dribble at both ends. Very rarely are you seeing success in that area of the game.
The lanes also are extremely clogged. You take a look at the nets. Martin, Jefferson, Kidd all with 4. Irvin Johnson for Milwaukee, he has 5. So does Michael Redd. Anthony Mason has 4. As Payton is unable to find the net. Kittles hit a couple of big threes here in the fourth quarter. Cassell battling. Kittles.
How does he make that after all the effort to control the basketball? Spins around and hits that shot. Wow.
Third 3 of the fourth.
Big shot by Kittles.
1 and 10 prior to Kittles knocking down those 3 threes. And a foul on Aaron Williams as he and Mason were checking one another.
Well, Mason just punishes the defender, though.
Jason Collins returns for the Nets.
Boy, is he tough.
Jason Collins back out on the floor.
It's a size call here now by Byron Scott. Get the bigger guy in for Mason to deal with.
Immediately following our game, of course, game 5 from Indiana. Second game of the doubleheader here on NBA TV in high definition. And Kittles with a foul. You better watch out.
Well, that call comes from way outside, and there's an official under the basket. But that's an example of when a guy reaches around a player on defense, chances are they'll blow a whistle even if it's clean.
With 5:50 to go, 4 of the 5 starters for the New Jersey Nets have 4 personal fouls as Kittles just earned his 4th. Nets by 3. Game 5 from New Jersey.
In 1211, the Carpathian brothers took a vow of silence. Luckily, it only pertains to offline. After all, when you can share personal pics, favorite cuts, and streaming video, who needs talking?
You've got mail.
The new AOL for broadband. Welcome to the worldwide.
I've got you under my skin. I have got you deep in the heart of me. And each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. Because I'll get you under my skin.
Thanks for making me a fighter.
Oh yeah.
Makes me that much stronger. Makes me harder. Makes me wiser. Thanks for making me fighter. A little bit faster. Thanks for making me a fighter.
Bucks trail by 3 here in Game 5 from Continental Airlines Arena. Matt Devin along with John Andres, and it's interesting when you look at the numbers. The Nets, points in the paint, +10. Second chance points, they're +13. Rebounding edge, they're +11. Assists, 18 to just 9 for the Bucks, but yet the Bucks with an opportunity to close the gap even more.
The Bucks have put on a tremendous performance here tonight, considering the home court disadvantage. Nets have been very tough here at home this year. The pressure on the game, too, as the Nets enjoy the home court advantage. But the Bucks' competitive fire has been tremendous. Of course, led by Cassell at the foul line now, finishing successfully, and, of course, Gary Payton.
He is perfect from the free throw line in the series. And tonight he is 3 of 3.
They've gotten a tremendous look, too, from Tony Kukoc for 17 points. team leading 17 points.
He had 23 off of the bench in game 4 and a foul on the floor. Sam Cassell just earned his third. 5:37 to go in this one-point game. Kidd has 4 personal fouls. Martin with 4. Kittles with 4. Jefferson with 4. Collins just replaced Aaron Williams. He has 2. Under 10 of the shot clock. Kittles uses the Martin screen. Mason switches. Shot short. And Desmond Mason with the rebound. Mason 10 points and 12 rebounds. Taken off the glass. Kidd, a chance to run. Kittles. No. He's missed his last 2 after hitting 3 big threes here in the fourth quarter for the Nets. Payton taking Kidd down low. Spins back. Shot no. Collision. Cassell and Kidd.
Blocking foul by Cassell. Meanwhile, Kidd, what a terrific job contesting that last attempt by Payton, putting such pressure on him.
Cassell's fourth.
Take a look at Kidd. Wants to get up court quickly. Veers away from Cassell. That's why he got the call in his favor.
Fast break points, the Nets with just 5. The Bucks with 3. Martin. That has certainly been huge, the ability to limit the Nets in transition.
Martin hasn't taken a jump shot all game.
Martin now 3 of 11 with 9 points. Remember, averaging better than 20 in the series. Kukoc. Last touch by Martin. He's been limited because of foul troubles. He's played 24 minutes. 4:19 to go, game 5. Best of 7 series here in the first round playoff matchup between the number 2 seed, the Nets, and the 7 seed, the Bucks. Mason. Kittles gets out. Payton slows him down.
You know the Nets desperately want to win this game. They don't want to lose their home court advantage going to a game 6.
Jefferson rolling right to the rim, and the find by Kidd. Nice cut.
How about
Jefferson?
Jefferson, 15 points, 15 rebounds.
And his first 2 of the second half.
Matt, you know, 3 points is a big lead in this particular game.
76-73. 3 on the shot clock. Desmond Mason gets hammered underneath by Collins, his third.
When you let a cutter own the lane, you're in trouble. The Kidd moments ago in a beautiful shuffle pass to Jefferson. Well-timed cut. Greatness of Kidd is his ability to deliver the ball so many different ways. And Mason also responded with a well-timed cut. Now the foul line brings it once again to a 2-point game with another shot to go.
In the second half, the Milwaukee Bucks are perfect from the free throw line, 12 of 12. Now 13 of 13. And San Antonio leading by 13 over the Phoenix Suns. And right here, we have a totally different game. 1-point game. Nets on top of the Bucks. Jefferson, air ball, weak side, scooped up by Payton.
He takes that shot so comfortably, missed by so much.
Jefferson 7 of 13 in the field. As you mentioned, 15 points, 15 rebounds. Kukoc slacks to the bucket. Payton tells him to get down there. Pass picked off. Kidd racing ahead. Loses his balance. Cassell doesn't have the numbers. And over the back on Kukoc. He's really gotten to the glass. He has 8 rebounds, but that time he earned his first foul.
Cassell wants to shoot the ball. That's what he's going to do if he can. He favors shooting. You can see that beautiful pass by Kidd moments ago. And it was Jefferson at the other end. Cassell pops that shot up.
Now playing on Lego Sports, the NBA All-Star Game. It's the real deal, Bob. Here, got that right, Rick. Wow, great steal. He tries a long shot. Is it? Yes! Oh, net! That puts on a little razzle-dazzle. Oh, just look at him move. Great. You like that one, Rick? I know I did, Bob. Want to play?
Set comes with Corton Standard figures. All-Star figures sold separately.
The NBA and WNBA continue to write new chapters to the Read to Achieve story.
Okay, let's read.
With each turn of the page, players and coaches are encouraging families to open a book with their children.
You like this book? All right.
And by donating computers and books to create reading and learning centers, the NBA is helping kids develop a lifelong love of reading.
Read to Achieve!
Be a part of the success and Read to Achieve.
NBA TV studios, chance to give you another update on the Game 5 taking place in San Antonio. Suns and the Spurs. Phoenix trailed by 23 at the break. Mari Stoudemire working inside in the fourth quarter. And Malik Rose, he has had a big night scoring the basketball in this game. Spurs try to go up 3 games to 2. They lead by 10. Back to East Rutherford, the Nets and the Bucks. Your announcers, Matt Devlin and John Andres.
The Nets lead by 1, 76-75. Game 5 of the best-of-7 series, which is tied at 2.
Well, Matt, this game doesn't represent the first 4 games between these two teams in any way. Coming in tonight, the Nets averaging 49% from the field, the Bucks 47%. I mean, this has been a blood and guts, hardly fought defensive game. A lot of rushed shots, a lot of missed shots. Guys who have been stars offensively throughout the series have just not really stepped up. I mean, this is really somebody.
It's reminiscent of just this one fact. Over the last 3 games, they have been decided by a combined 10 points. And of course, coming up immediately following us, the first ever NBA TV and high definition doubleheader. Game 2 from Conseco Fieldhouse.
What a pleasure it is for us to sit here and look at these monitors. Boy, is it clear. A beautiful experience. Meanwhile, Collins 7 away from the foul line for the Nets.
And Martin just picked up number 5 with 2:21 remaining.
Boy, Kukoc has been able to get around Kenyon Martin throughout much of this game with moves.
Martin played 49 minutes in Game 4, 30 points as he slapped Kukoc. Kukoc, 18 points, and the Bucks now 14 of 14 from the free throw line here in the second half.
That tells a big story, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, the first miss. 26 and 32 now in the game, while the Nets are 22 and 28. Phoenix closing in on the Spurs. 9-point game in the fourth quarter. We have a 2-point game. Collins, second chance, and a foul underneath.
Well, the way he's been shooting foul shots, not bad for the Nets. Any chance to put points on the board is vital at this point in the game. And how about this young man? So consistent at the line tonight.
The Nets chasing Collins to the foul line, shooting 2.
Great follow by Collins to get that rebound.
Cassell earned his 5th, and Collins connects. He is 8 of 9 from the free throw line, and of course, this is where the Nets stumble in Game 4 from the free throw line.
All 8 points.
Shooting 80% tonight from the free throw line. The Bucks 81%. 4-point game. Under 2 minutes remaining in Game 5 from Continental Airlines Arena. 10 of the shot clock. Kittle's got a piece of it. Cassell backing down. Collins comes out.
Too much Cassell, and it falls
the free throw line.
His kid, no question where he was going, right to the basket. And he draws the foul. But Cassell, with all of his talent, tremendous talent, his judgments, though, are faulty many times. He doesn't want to give that ball up.
And, of course, when he did, the shot clock was really cut down. And Payton was forced to take that three, which has resulted in this, a 5-point lead. Now a 6-point advantage. Off glass, Mason. 4-point game, 1:20 remaining.
But 4 is huge with 1:15 to go, the way this game has been played. And that's the strike here.
Kidd.
Talk about leadership. Talk about clutch play. He's been doing it all year, and he rises once again.
A team high, 18 points. Jason Kidd gets the ball at the elbow, puts it on the floor, pulls up and drills it. And it's a 6-point game with 1:03 to go and a timeout taken by the Bucks.
Jason Kidd, his greatness is sensing the moment, sensing what's needed. And he could not have hit a more dramatic shot. 3-point lead's been big. 4's been big. But now a running one-hander, tough shot into the heart of the Bucks defense by Jason Kidd. Once again, space given to him by Kittles, who clears out for him. And Kidd right down the middle, making a very tough shot. Look at that shot. Running into the heart of the defense, not using the backboard. How difficult it is to make a shot like that as you're running straight to the hoop.
Of course, immediately following this Game 5, we'll send you to Indianapolis, Indiana, where Kevin Calabro is standing by for Game 5 between the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. And that is coming up next on NBA TV in high definition. Kevin Calabro and Steve Snapper Jones from Indiana coming up momentarily. The lead at halftime was 6, and the lead right now stands at 6. And remember, the Bucks began the second half on a 6-0 run. They need something like that. They need to duplicate that. With 1:03 remaining, Tim Thomas checking in for the Bucks.
You gotta believe they want that ball in Payton's hands.
Here's Payton up top. Under a minute left. Payton driving. Scoop shot doesn't fall. Desmond Mason tends it last. Nets basketball.
There have been 2 offensive drives by Payton in the last 2 minutes. Both of them he's been unable to draw a foul. What defense by the Nets.
They're on their feet here at Continental Airlines Arena. Two cuts. And Payton trying to limit Kidd. 7 on the shot clock. Stripped to the basketball. Payton with the finish. 4-point game. 33.5 seconds left.
That's going for it. They're pushing it. No timeout.
And the foul prior to the give from Jefferson to Harris. And the foul is on Desmond Mason. And Jefferson heads to the line. Bonus situation, both teams in the bonus. Of course, the Nets in the fourth quarter of Game 4. 8 of 18. And tonight they are 7 of 8 in the fourth quarter. And a career best performance by Richard Jefferson with 16 rebounds. Had 15 earlier in the season. in December.
No foul shooting woes for the Nets tonight.
82%. Richard Jefferson with 17 points. Collins, second-year player out of Stanford, 9 of 10. Kidd, 7 of 9. Kittles, 2 of 2. Martin, 3 of 4. And Richard Jefferson, 3 of 3. As Gary Payton explains the situation to Bill Spooner. 86-80 with 27.5 tenths of a second remaining in Game 5.
George Karl has to be disappointed when he looks at the scoreboard right now. But he can't ask for more than what his team gave him.
Out rebounded by 12. The Bucks have certainly been able to get this game at a pace in which they can excel at against the Nets, because the Nets have been limited in their opportunities to run. But Tim Thomas, who we talked about at the top of the show, just 3 of 11 with 9 points. And remember, he has been so productive in this series. He has been so quiet this evening.
And how about Martin, also with 9 points? Another unstoppable force coming into the game tonight. Both these guys negated with tough defense, early foul problems. They've never gotten into a comfortable offensive rhythm.
And you look at the 2 brilliant point guards. Kidd, 18. Payton, 16 points. Kidd, 6 rebounds. Payton, 5 rebounds. 5 assists for both.
And that's a dramatic statistic up on the board. The Game 5 winner has won in a 7-game series. If he's won Game 5, it's 82% of the time he wins the series.
Payton. Michael Redd checking in. Kukoc for 3. Harris with a rebound. And fouled. 16.2 tenths of a second to go. And now pushing and shoving between Thomas and Kenyon Martin. And the Nets bench comes out. That's Michael O'Korn right there, holding back Kenyon Martin, the former Net who played against the Bucks back in 1984 in a playoff series. This is just the 3rd time that these two teams have met up in the playoffs. And certainly 2 frustrating evenings for Kenyon Martin and Tim Thomas. And it was Martin and Cassell that were going at one another, and Thomas came over.
Cassell is great at luring conversation. He's a talker. And Martin, who had an explosive last season with foul troubles, with losses of temper, this year has been the model NBA player. And once again, he resisted reacting to this guy who likes to talk, likes to incite conversation and reaction out of opponents.
Double technical situation as Urban Johnson checks in. Johnson in for Kukoc. Cassell and Martin each picking up a technical foul. Harris at the free throw line. And the Nets have only missed 1 free throw here in the 4th quarter tonight. And the lead has been stretched out to 8.
20-second timeout.
Largest lead in the second half for the Nets, 88-80, with 16.2 tenths of a second to go, and a 20-second taken by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, Matt, the home court advantage has finally expressed itself for the Nets. And the depth of their team and the many contributors they have to their successful season have come forward. It has been a tough road. But you know, as this series, with 16 seconds to go, an 8-point lead now for the Nets, as this series goes back to Milwaukee in a couple of days, this is a team led by this guy, Gary Payton, that you cannot count out. This could easily come back to New Jersey for a Game 7.
The Bucks take their final timeout. And over the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds, the Nets have outscored the Bucks 12-5. They need points in a hurry, and they're taking too long now as Red slashes to the hole. 6-point game. And a timeout taken by the New Jersey Nets. The Nets, of course, won Game 1 easily. But Game 2, the Bucks fought back to win by 3, 88-85. And then Rodney Rogers at the end was able to knock down a shot at 103-101 to win in Milwaukee Game 3 for the Nets. In Game 4, the Bucks came back to win it by 5 in overtime, 119-114.
Kukoc, big time game for him. 23 points, 2 threes in the overtime. Boy, you talk about big time shooting. When you're hitting threes in an overtime game, a critical game, that says a lot. Even Red had one also. And when you look at the physical abilities and the depth of each team, certainly the Nets have the advantage expressed in their season record, far superior to Milwaukee. But the Bucks, playing with great character and leadership, veteran players, and fine shooting team, they have come back strong defensively tonight. I thought under George Carlin made a great statement defensively how much they can bother New Jersey. They know they're the underdogs, but they did not play like that tonight.
The Nets in Game 1 shot 72% from the free throw line. In Game 2, they were 18 of 22, 81%. In Game 3, the Nets, 82%. In Game 4, they struggled down the stretch, 33 of 47, 70%. Tonight, 30 of 36, 83.3%. 9 seconds remaining. In Game 5 between the Bucks and the Nets, and Kidd will hold on to it. And Thomas and Payton both run into him. And the foul is on Thomas, his 4th.
Once again, amazing the comparison. Kidd and Payton. Kidd, 18 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Payton, 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds.
So Kidd steps to the line tonight, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. And Game 6 is coming up Thursday in Milwaukee. Remember, a 2-2-1-1-1 format. And so the Milwaukee Bucks will be at home against this New Jersey Nets team on Thursday night from the Bradley Center. And of course, coming up next, Game 5 between the Celtics and the Pacers from Conseco Fieldhouse. 89-82, the Nets take Game 5 of this series. So the Nets take it by a final score of 89-82. For John Andres, I'm Matt Devlin, as New Jersey